Your skin may have looked a little like this over the summer, and it is probably a little painful. My skin looks like this because of overexposure to the sun. My name is Risa, and today we're going to be talking about sunburns. With so much time in the sun, most people have had sunburns before. But what actually causes a sunburn? Ultraviolet radiation is a form of energy that the sun produces. UV light has more energy than visible light, which can be more damaging to our skin. When your skin has too much exposure to UV radiation, it damages the DNA in your cells. Too much UV radiation targets the DNA, which causes them to misunderstand their function. As a result, your cells divide and replicate too frequently, which can lead to cancer. Because of this, it's so important to protect our skin from UV damage. There are different UV indicators that can help us see how UV affects us. So let's head to the lab and test some out. For this lab, we will be making a bracelet. You will need some string and UV indicator beads, which you can find at any arts and crafts store. Put UV beads on the string and tie it together to make a bracelet. Wear your bracelet and step outside into the sun. Observe how the beads change color when placed in the sunlight. For this lab, you will need some paper and an invisible ink pen. Draw something on your paper without using the light from your pen. Turn off the lights in your room and use the pen's light to look at your drawing. Now let's talk about how these labs work. In our first lab, the UV bracelet lab, the UV beads contain spiral compounds. The UV rays from the sun activate a chemical within the bead to change color. Similarly, the ink in the UV pen has a chemical that reacts to UV light. This activation is similar to how UV rays damage DNA. The Environmental Protection Agency has a UV index forecast that predicts the ultraviolet radiation levels on a 1 to 11 plus scale. You can look up the index of the location you are in to see the expected intensity of UV radiation. When we go outside, we want to make sure we're protecting our skin. Our body naturally has its own sun protection. Melanin. Melanin is a natural pigment that causes your skin tone. The more melanin you have, the darker your skin tone will be. Melanin absorbs the sun's UV rays in order to prevent sun damage on deeper levels, causing a tan. However, this is not enough to protect us. We also need sunscreen. There are two types of sunscreen that are commonly used. The first is a physical sunscreen that creates a physical barrier to block and reflect UV rays. This sunscreen is commonly used by swimmers and lifeguards because it's waterproof and better for the environment. The second is a chemical sunscreen that contains chemicals that absorb UV rays. Now that you know more about UV rays, make sure you keep your skin safe with sunscreen. And as always, happy sciencing!